Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday evening video. And it's Wednesday evening, almost Wednesday night, and you know what that means, we got AEW Dynamite! Coming up in a little over an hour and a half, on that great station at TBS. So, we got that later. But thank you all for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there. You know where it is, in the gobbledygook, otherwise known as my pants. Otherwise known as the description marks below. So, subscribe to the channels right now. Now. Not then, but now. Because you'll miss it. That's that. And leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and the future Conan on my respective channels. But if you leave stupid comments, you're going to get sent to that shadow realm. Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul, and you'll never be heard from again. So if you want to do your bull crap, do it on your garbage channel. But you ain't going to do it on mine, you don't like it? Tough. Tough, that's pretty much it. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to follow me on social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as always, don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, you need to get slapped in the face because you are, you are what you are, and you know what that means. Which means you're out of luck. And that's all, pretty much it. You're just pretty much shit out of luck. That's all. That's that. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all the good stuff. And we move on. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. As always, we have soda here. We don't drink anything. But, just grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. Too bad. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're at Hump Day! Yeah! Hump Day, otherwise known as Wednesday. Otherwise known as January the 21st, 2026. Hope you had a great day. Actually, a little bit of snow right now. Not too much. We're not going to get anything, really, right now. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow. But like 50 degrees tomorrow. And then, bound! And then we're getting a blizzard. Ugh. Not going to be fun this weekend because they're saying 6+ inches of snow. And they're going back and forth. We don't know the exact amount, but one saying we're getting 6+ inches. Another one saying we're getting 8 to 12. Ugh. Bottom line is, stay home Sunday and stay home Monday. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going out anywhere. And I'm taking a day off Monday. Ha ha! So, that's that. I do have appointments next week. I might have to change some of them, but we'll see what happens with that. Because, Monday's going to be, forget it, cleanup day, icy, and it's still going to be cold with the temperatures and everything, so going to be dangerous to go outside. It's dangerous to go alone. So just be careful in the Northeast and down South, too, all the way down to Georgia, and a little bit of, Georgia per se, but, yeah, it's going to be icy, in the mid-Atlantic, and it's just going to be a mess this weekend, because we're getting a kind of classic nor'easter, so, New York is due for a big storm. We're finally getting it after 4+ years of basically getting no snow. Now, we're getting snow. We're due, so, first major snowstorm of the year, coming your way Sunday, and then next weekend, they're talking about another one. I'm like, oh, God. I hate the winter. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I wish I want to move somewhere that you don't have to worry about that, like California or Arizona. Where you have to worry about the snow. All you got to worry about is earthquakes in California. You got to worry about the monsoon in Arizona, and then if you go down to Florida, all you got to worry about is hurricanes during the summertime. Not that cold down there. In the wintertime, depending on where in Florida you go. I think further south you go, like to Miami, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to bring a big jacket. You just bring a light jacket, and you're good. Or if it goes further south, go to like Puerto Rico, you don't have to worry about shit. Except for hurricanes too, but all the good stuff. But yeah, that's why a lot of New Yorkers are getting out of here, and I'm pretty much getting out of here. I don't know when, but soon. I can't stand this winter. This garbage winters every freaking year. I was happy with the 4 years of warm winters and barely any snow because I don't have to break my back every freaking year, and now my back is hurting even more as I shoveled this past weekend, I should say. It was a pain in the ass, but what are you gonna do? At least it wasn't a lot of snow, but this weekend, I gotta break my back. It's just, can't. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, enough about that, because I know you clipped it, and that's all you got. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you had a great day, and if you didn't, well, too bad. We're at the midpoint of the week, getting close to the weekend, the last weekend of January 2026, and pretty soon, we'll be going into February, and just about 10 to 12 weeks away from Easter. We talk about that bunny who gives us the eggs and all that good stuff. And baseball is coming up too. Football is pretty much 3 weeks away from the Super Bowl. But we got that. But like I said, we got wrestling on tonight. That's the main thing. So if you had a bad day, just draw on some just watch AEW, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. That's all you gotta do. And then have a good dinner. Whatever it may be. Alright, on this cold, well, not too cold, Wednesday evening, January the 21st, it is time, January 21st, 2026, mind you, it is time for your late and out-of-date WWE NXT review for last night, January the 20th, 2026. And as always, we are emanating from Nickelodeon Studios in the parking lot in Orlando, Florida. Alright, last night was wild and crazy. Just like me. I'm a wild and crazy guy. You know that? Steve Martin, almost said Steve Allen, but it's another guy. Anyway, but wild show last night from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. As we're gearing up for the big February the 3rd show, technically titled Vengeance Day, but they didn't really announce the name of it. They're just saying February 3rd now, so there might be a Vengeance Day pay-per-view this month. They're talking about maybe the 14th, maybe Valentine's Day. I wouldn't even call it Vengeance Day on Valentine's Day. I'd just call it St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Remember that from a few years ago? Not even few, I should say, a long time ago. That was a Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon in a black bar cage. That was the debut of the Big Slow. And he threw Austin into the cage broke, and he won the match and kept the title. Oops. So, but it was still a decent mini pay-per-view for WWE back then in the Attitude Era. But we move on with that. Alright, so we're continuing on. We got basically one more show, and then we got the February 3rd show. So we got this Tuesday night on the program, and then we got the February 3rd show, which features the 6-man ladder match for the vacant NXT World title. Already Ricky Starks is in. Absolute Ricky Starks, that is. And last night we got a couple of people that qualify. We got more next week. We got 3 more next week. But we'll get to that in a little bit. And as always, our commentary team. Oh, the man with the creepy jacket. Lots of candy. He loves Halloween. He loves those kids too. Vic Joseph, and the man smokes more fucking weed than you do. He's wild. He's crazy. He's the two-time Hall of Famer. The Kool-Aid Man himself. Black Snow. Whatever you want to call him. He's the simp of wrestling. Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, man! Oh yeah! Right, calm down. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so let's get into the show. Let's not waste any more time. Alright, so we started with a recap of what happened last week. With all that craziness that happened last week, where, with Tony D'Angelo going berserk at the end, where Joe Hendry took on Dion Lennox from Dark State in a no disqualification match. And Joe Hendry won, and then pretty much got his butt kicked by Mr. Tony D, and then he just gave a stare to Ava Raine. So we're going to find out what happens with that. Speaking of Ava Raine, she talks to the same security guards that Tony beat up last week. Why couldn't you get new security guards from Walmart? Come on, Hickenbottom, you moron. That's Shawn Michaels for you people at home that don't know his real name. Anyway, same fucking security guards, and she tells them to watch out for Tony D. We're on high alert. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. You think my cousin Tony D is scared of a bunch of flunkies from LFG? Right. You better call the National Guard, Ava Raine, or call your dad, The Rock, because these fucking flunkies ain't gonna do shit to my cousin, and even your little dad, Dwayne, ain't gonna do shit. Fuck him, let him do another boring movie. Fuck The Rock at this point. You know where you can go? Fuck is the direction you can fuck. Off. You can fuck off, Rock. Pretty much. That's that. Alright. After that, we get to our first match of the night for the Canadian National title. We got the champ, All Ego, Ethan Page. He takes on the newcomer from Mexico, but he's French. The French luchador, Idio de Fleur. And no, he's not Guy Lafleur's brother. If you follow hockey, you know. Any of the Fleurs. Le Fleur? Pepe La Pew? No. Anyway, pretty decent match, and I was pretty impressed with Mr. LeFleur, who looks like Matt Riddle, a little bit watered down. Built like a truck, but he put on a good match. Didn't win. They teased him like he was about to win, but obviously he was not going to win in his debut, because not a lot of people win titles in their debut match unless your name is Gail Kim, but I digress. Or a Paige back then. Remember when Paige debuted on Raw and was so green, and then she beat AJ? AJ Lee, that is. That ass! That's what happened. But AJ was dumb because she held the title for so long. It's like, I'll put my title on the line, and then freaking Paige comes out, and then pretty much got a receipt, and then Paige's like, alright, I'm gonna beat you now. And Paige just beat AJ to become the then Divas champion with a stupid butterfly belt. Ugh. That belt was horrible. I hate that belt. And that was the precursor to what the IWGP belt looked like before, thankfully, Tsuji said, alright, none of this butterfly bullshit. We're going to bring back the version 4 IWGP World title, which looks way better. They should have never changed that belt. Never changed it. Because it looked like a freaking Timu version of the Divas title. That's what it looked like. Anyway. Alright, so, like I said, great match. It's also with a running shoulder block, drops the newcomer to start, comes right back up with a springboard headlock. That's interesting. Ethan takes him down, but Idio de Fleur is back to his feet, and then he's like, I'm gonna pat your head. Pat your head. Who used to do that? Freaking Alexa Bliss? You pat your head. Anyway. So, We're gonna call him Mr. Patty Head now. Not Elio LaFleur, call him Mr. Patty Head. Not Patty Cake, you know. Patty Cake! No. Anyway, so they head to the outside. Elio hits a running... Every time I say Elio, I feel like I want to have pizza right now. Shit. Elio's Pizza. Frozen pizza. Not as great as Red Baron or DiGiorno, but... Probably my number 2, number 3 right now. But anyway. Elio goes to the outside, hitting a running Hurricanrana off the ring steps. Impressive. Only for Ethan to hit a backbreaker on the turnbuckle. Ow! We go to break, we come back. Ethan rams Elio face first into the mat without a rearranger face. But Elio fights up with a springboard spinning cross body. That's a mouthful, that's what she said. Into a swinging suplex for a near fall. Goes for a 450, missed. No one in the pool for you, sir. I mean, essay. Amigo, ami. Gotta say French. Mon ami. Nightcrawler's gonna come out. Mon ami. Yeah, get back to freaking Extreme Wolverine. Get out of here. By the way, Extreme Wolverine was my fanfic back in the day. Got a lot of hits on my website. I had remember GeoCities? Some of you may remember. I used to have a GeoCities site, which was the original site for my fanfic series, Extreme Wolverine, that I did with my den friend, the hippie ripper Greg. Well, I'm not gonna say his real name, but we kind of branched off from my classic rock metal show in college, and then we branched out to doing fanfics because we loved X-Men, we loved Final Fantasy, stuff like that. So we did that for a while. We did it for many years. We branched out from GeoCities to Angel Fire. Remember that? I don't even know if it's still around, but we had that. I don't even know I don't even remember the password, to be honest with you. To my Angel Fire site. I have the actual paperwork, because I printed it out, because my godmother actually loved it, and she wanted to, have it for herself. And I printed it out, gave it to her. I still have some copies. So, but I haven't got back into that in a very long time, because I haven't had time to write, because I was doing that, and then that led to what my RPs for the XWF, my wrestling career, and all that other shit. That kind of got into that. So my wrestling career kind of stemmed from my my college days into my fanfic days, and then that led to me getting my foot in the door in the wrestling business, if you will. Writing promos for myself, getting wrestling training from the great Joel Maximo, and good stuff, but never progressed from there. But now I'm almost 50, and it's like, do I want to get back in the wrestling business? Hey, if Tony Khan or, Colo Silver has a job for me, I'm there, man. So, DM them on Twitter up the wazoo. And tell them this guy would love to work for them. Not in wrestling capacity. I'm talking about backstage interviews, commentary, whatever maybe pre-show. As long as I don't sit next to Sam Roberts, because I want to strangle his fucking head. Why, you little? Hate him. Just put me next to Big E and maybe Jackie Redmond, I'm fine. Or in Pete Rosenberg. Just put me next to them, I'm fine. I wouldn't give a fuck. Sam Roberts can go do his boring podcast and the Raw after show with whoever that other chick is, Erin Moran. Do that. Stay away from me, okay? Because if I see you, I'm gonna just wring your neck. You're done. I might just give you a ghillie cutter. Bang! Fuck that guy. Anyway, back to NXT. Alright, so we got a springboard spinning crossbody into a swinging suplex for a near fall. 450 missed. Ethan's pump kick gets a near fall. And he kicks Elio down, but Elio gets right back up with a spinning DDT. Almost like a tornado DDT. A springboard knee to head gives Elio a near fall. Then he goes coast to coast. And into Chicago. No, not Sade, I'm sorry. Smooth operator. Okay. So it's coast to coast for another near fall. Goes for another 450, and Ethan got his knees up. He goes for the Eagle's Edge, Chico. Laser's Edge, Chico. Something happened to this, something happened to you, Chico. That gets counted into a Hurricane Rana, but Ethan powerbombs him out of the corner and grabs his trunks, a little bit of underwear. 1, 2, 3, and still your reigning, defending Canadian National Champion, all ego, Ethan Page. A little over 10 minutes. Still, pretty good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Good debut for Elio de Flair. I think he's got a promising future in Triple A and maybe NXT. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, as Ethan's celebrating, we have Absolute Ricky Starks. Man who's got a bye into the 6-way ladder match. He comes out, they have a little bit of a reunion, kind of like an AEW reunion. He's like, well, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to join on commentary. Because, you know, he's pretty much on commentary for the rest of the night with the qualifying matches. So we got him on commentary. That's always fun, so we'll get that. We move on. Alright, after that, we're going to look at Oba! Who? Femi 2.0. That's Keanu Carver beating the fuck out of everybody last week. Chucking a guy into the stands. Woo! I don't know who that was, but damn. So we got that. Then we go to commentary. Vic Joseph's talking about an incident on LFG. I think we're going to see it for Season 3, which we don't know when the air date is for Season 3. But we see Keanu Carver and Booker T. Sucker, who's one of the coaches, get into a humongous argument. Because I think Keanu wanted to do whatever he wanted to do in the ring. And Booker's like, you can't do that, brother. Then you're gonna fly. And then he's like, oh, fuck you. And then he go back to Booker T, who has no comment on it. And he also had a really eye-opening comment during the Shiloh Hill Josh Briggs match. Basically saying, you know, talk about Josh Briggs, he's got to prove himself because, you know, by the time after the Raw after Mania, we're going to get the spring cleaning, all the cuts and everything. Was that foreshadowing that Josh Briggs is getting released? I don't know. But it's very eye-opening that he actually said something like that. You're going to prove yourself. You're going to get cut in April. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, Booker T, calm down now. But that whole thing with Keanu Carver and Booker T, very interesting. I'm interested. I want to see what happens on Season 3. Because we got Natty, Booker T, I don't know who the other 2 coaches are, but we'll see what happens with that. Whenever that airs. We don't have an air date yet, but we move on. I thought Keanu Carver was already on LFG. Obviously, he was not. And why is he on it now? I thought we haven't seen him since 2022-23 when he was in the breakout tournament. And then something happened. He got sent home or released-ish because of some disciplinary actions. Whatever that. I don't know what he did. I don't remember what he did. But now he's back, basically running amok in NXT. And basically, he doesn't look, but he kind of has that big size that Oba has, so we're calling him Oba 2.0. But he just can't be the Ruda, who, the Destroyer, who, the Bringer of War, who. He's not Oba, who, very. He's not from Wakanda. I don't know where Keanu lives, probably some, I don't know where he is. We move on with that. So we got that. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, now we get to do the first qualifying match for the ladder match coming up in 2 weeks. Shiloh Hill takes on Josh Briggs. Decent match. So with Shiloh knocking him down to start, gets kneed in the head, ow, for his efforts. And a swinging neck breaker puts Josh down for a near fall. Shiloh drops the leg on the apron, ouch. And then Briggs comes back, sends Shiloh outside, where Shiloh is back with a running flippy dippity-doo off the steps. And another knockdown drops Shiloh on the floor. We go to break, we come right back. And Shiloh gets sent into the corner with a running elbow, gives Josh Briggs a near fall. Shiloh then comes back, runs him over with a shoulder block, and an inverted flippy dippity-doo flipping backsplash, interesting, for a near fall. And then Shiloh with one hell of a choke slam. Josh Briggs with one hell of a choke slam, which sent Shillow's tooth flying. I don't know where it went. It's still on radar, probably. Holy crap! And then Josh goes off for a moonsault, missed. No one in the pool for you, sir. And then Shiloh finishes him off with a belly-to-back neck breaker. Interesting variation of that. 1, 2, 3, Shiloh gets the win. He is participant number 2 in the 6-way ladder match, so he moves on to that match, and that's it. Match was kind of sloppy, but still, I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, my legit cousin, Tony D'Angelo, who cooked me some great calamari. I'm gonna have it later. And I don't even have to pay the guy. All I have to pay him is $2! $2! If you want to play the calamari from Tony D, he's going to charge you $12.50. And that's that. So Tony D comes in, lays both of them out, and then goes to the outside, looks at Ricky Starks. And then left. Or so we thought he left. We talk about that later. But yeah, my cousin's mad. He is pissed. I mean, he freaking fired one of his chefs the other day. Holy crap! I mean, us Italians, when we get mad, we get mad. Sorry about that. But yeah, he is mad. That's all I can say about that. So I'm staying away from my cousin for now. Because I don't want no part of that. But we move on with that. That's that. Alright, then we go to the back with Delruca, Delta, and the resident surfer girl who will snatch your soul. So Ruka, so upset over Delta losing at Genesis against Xia Li for the TNA Knockouts Championship. We see Delta's shoulders all banged up for the match. Doesn't want to be blamed if they lose the triple threat match later on. Aw, that sounded harsh. It's my fault we lost! I'm a bad team player! Come on, suck it up. Be a real American. We move on. Alright, so I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the ring we go with tag team action player. A Teddy Long special, my friends. We got the Vanity Project of Baylor and the other guy. What's his name? Baylor and the other guy. Smokes, basically. I don't know. I forget their real name. I think it's Brett Baylor and somebody Smokes. I don't know. Anyway. So, Swipe Right takes on Chase. Or Chase. Ew! And that's, Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors with Mr. Chase, Andre Chase at ringside. It was a meh match. So it's also with Smokes shouldering Uriah Connors down. Kale Dixon comes in, takes over on Brett Baylor, including a standing moonsault. Okay. Raya Connors takes too long going up top, gets slammed down, followed by a big boot by Mr. Smokes for a near fall. And then they keep Oriah Connors down. He rolls out of the corner, gets the hot tag to KO Dixon, cleans house, sends the Vanity Project to the outside for a big running flippy dippity-doo. Throws him back in, a twisting top rope splash. Interesting. Gets a near fall on Smokes, followed by a springboard stunner. Stunner back out, stunner! Stone Cold! Okay, JR, calm down. Back out, Stone Cold! Okay, stop. So I guess a near fall. And then all 4 men on the ring. And a top rope double stomp reverse DDT combo. That was interesting. Finishes off, I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but anyway, Swipe Right get the win. And that's, pretty much it. Blah, 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 and they really didn't give 2 fucks about the match. 2.25 out of 5 stars. But, yeah. Alright, so Swipe Right's first win in NXT. Nobody cared. That's that. Alright, after that, we see Ava Raine on her phone. She's calling the cops on my cousin Tony D. But then, Luna Faces! Oh yes, caliente! Shake those hips, baby. Oh yeah. So she wants a title shot. And then the crazy girl, Thea Hale, comes in. She wants a title shot. And starts arguing about that. I think they're going for the Women's North American title. That Bookie Hogan 2.0 Izzy Dame has. So Ava makes a triple threat match for February the 3rd, which makes them happy. Oh, we got a triple threat match! Yay! Joy. Alright, so we got that, but, yeah. Ava's calling the cops on my cousin. Like that's gonna work. We move on. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then, we got an interview with Blake Howard, this new, schmuck commentator, backstage commentator, interviewer, I should say. Because, like, they have Sarah Schreiber, they have, Kelly Kincaid or Quinn McKay, and now they have this dork named Blake Howard. Tries to sit down with Kiana Carver, who basically says, I'm here because I have to be here, and I don't want to answer any of your dumb questions. But then he's asked about 2023 and some disciplinary issues stemming from that, and he's like, fuck this, man. Takes off his freaking... He tries to take off the lapel mic, and Blake Howard, you idiot, tries to help him get it off, and he's like, don't you touch me! Let him leave, you moron! That's textbook interview 101. You don't touch the talent. But, keep the ladies away from me, because, they might touch me, and I'm like, Hey, me, Io, and Asuka and Mina would just hug. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't give a flying fuck what the producer says. You can't touch the talent! Fuck you. It's a harmless hug. Harmless. Come on now. Wait, we move on. Alright, so yeah, Kiana Carver going crazy. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, we go back to the Capitol Wrestling Center for our next segment. And we got Ms. Parker! Ms. Parker! Jada Parker! Comes out. Does her thing, looking good. Those things have been changing in NXT recently, but she hasn't changed. Some people there are some people who deserve flowers, like Kendall Gray and Lola Vice. Praise, I didn't know that. But she didn't return in a hurry because she wanted to prove herself. She's here because she's the standard that refuses to bend, and everyone has opinions about her. There's always someone telling her how to do something better, but she knows she is making people feel pressure. She deserves the attention she gets, but she's not going to be put in a box. And she's like, I'm not dimming. Actually, the lights start to dim. And she's like, hey, who's dimming the lights? Then they cut out. And she's like, oh, really? 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 No, not Sabu's not going to come out. Don't worry, he's up there. Stay there, Terry. Not you, Terry. That Terry. Not you, Balea. You stay there, brother. So the lights go out, and then we hear the lovely Blake Monroe. Oh my. Her voice, and spotlight hits her on the balcony. And she tells Jada, you made a grave mistake last week interrupting me. And Jada says, well, I'm right here, so hit your dumb catchphrase and wrap this fucking shit up. Damn. It's like, what, you got somewhere to go? Were you going to go to Jay Uso's house or something like that? I don't know. So Jada was on fire. I mean, that promo was like basically saying, you didn't do anything with me for the past 2-3 months, and then you rushed me back just to have a feud with Blake Monroe. But, yeah, she came back and she is mad. She is pissed. She's on her period. But I want to see this feud. I want to see where it goes. And that's pretty much it. I gave this segment 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. Alright, we go to the back where we have Ava Raine talking to Miles. They'll call him Ozzy Osbourne. They're talking about something. And then Idiot Le Fleur comes in. He thanks Ava for the opportunity for the Canadian national title. Ava's like, sorry, it was a tough loss, but you'll get your win. So Miles welcomes him to NXT, and then Ricky Starks comes in, and Miles says, "I'm going to be in the ladder match. You're not even in the fucking qualifying match, as far as I know." And then Ethan Page pops in, says Miles is the one who always loses, and basically says you have a choice. Or I got a choice, or you got a choice. You got a choice, you got a choice, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. We all get cars, yay! We have our Oprah moment. So I don't know what act's gonna go. Let me move on with that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we're going to look at Unreal Season 2, which is epic. I just finished it. I'm going to do a review probably later tonight or maybe early tomorrow about Season 2. But it is freaking epic. We got the John Cena retirement tour thing. Cody Rhodes is in it. Of course, Cody. CM Punk, LA Knight. EO is in it. Mommy Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria. It is just, it basically goes from WrestleMania 41 up to almost now. It's very good to show, mostly from last year, to show Evolution with EO and Mommy, with Naomi cashing in. They talk a little bit about Naomi. They give Seth Rollins' real name, which we all know is Kobe. Becky's real name, Rebecca Quinn. They didn't mention LA Knight, but I think they kind of briefly said put his name on. We all know his name is Sean, but whatever his last name is, I forgot his last name. They said Walter instead of Gunther. Oh! And then EO does a little interview. And basically saying, her real name, and then, I went by Io Shirai, and now I go by Io Sky, and then the whole thing with, it's great. And then they had Paul Heyman there. They do the whole talking in the writers' room and all this stuff leading up to SummerSlam last year, and that's that. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. The stuff you don't see, behind the scenes. So they're kind of pulling the curtain back and showing what happens backstage and how the storylines are all made up and this and that. They talk about Seth Rollins' fake knee injury. concluding at SummerSlam when he faked his injury, beat CM Punk, cashed in, and won the title. And then I had that horrible match with Lyra and Becky for the Women's Intercontinental title in that No Holds Barred match, which was just utterly horrible. And then they showed Mommy Rhea Ripley and EO from Evolution 2, match of the year. Pay-per-view of the year. Match of the year, too, for the ladies. But good stuff there. Then he showed Cody and, a little bit of Cody and Cena from SummerSlam. And a whole lot of stuff. Naomi winning Money in the Bank, and her turning heel and getting the belt. Stuff like that. So, and they also talked about R-Truth's release. He still thinks he got fired, but it was a whole contract dispute, basically. It's like, oh, we didn't have the money for you, blah, blah, blah. He thought he got fired, so he went on social media and said, I got released, y'all. And then we had that whole thing where even me saying, why did you release R-Truth? I mean, why? It made no sense to me. I mean, I was like, it's about time at the time, but, And then that whole thing where he comes back as Ron Cena, beats up Cena, and that leads to the match at, I think it was, Backlash, where Cena obviously won. So, we get all that, and a whole bunch of stuff from WrestleMania up to, I think, SummerSlam and a little bit after that. But good stuff. I can't wait till Season 3. It got picked up for Season 3, which is probably being taped right now. But I would assume that's going to come sometime in the summertime or maybe the fall. So, because we got to get through LFG and a whole bunch of other stuff. But, yeah, Unreal Season 2 is a must-see. You haven't seen it yet? Watch all of it. It's 5 episodes, about almost an hour each. If you have ads, it sucks, but, But it's good stuff. Great stuff. I'll review it, like I said, tonight or maybe tomorrow. Because there's a lot of stuff to cover. And I'm not going to go through everything, because I know a lot of people didn't see it. So, but I'll nitpick a few things from my notes and everything. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to spoil a lot. I'll try not to, but that's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, after that, after the Unreal Season 2 look-in, we get to our next qualifying match. Shawn Legacy from Evolve, taking on another man from Evolve, Eli Knight. And no relation to L.A. Knight. Yeah! That's his homie. That's his homeboy. Anyway. So we find out that Shawn Legacy's on the NXT roster. Good. I guess they got rid of Evolve. I mean, it's still on the air, but why bother having Evolve? It's boring. I mean, just have it as a developmental show, that's fine. But I'd rather just scrap Evolve altogether. Like it should have been. It was scrapped, and then NXT bought Evolve, and it's like, hey, we're gonna have an extra show that we don't see. Unless you have Tubi, which I don't watch. I don't have it, I don't watch Evolve. I don't care. And Jackson Drake is the Evolve Men's Champion. Kendall Gray is the Evolve Women's Champion. Big freaking deal. Alright, so Ricky Starks back on commentary. Pretty good match. They go for kicks to the ribs, block it, and then basically put the boots to each other, and then we get a standoff. Eli Knight is sent outside, and then we get an early flippy dippity-doo, takes him down by Shawn Legacy. Back in, Eli hits a drop kick, sends Shawn Legacy back to the outside for another flippy dippity-doo. Why not? Go to break, come back. Both men get into a slugfest. Shawn Legacy wins that, hits a big clothesline for a near fall. Actually, hits a clothesline, gets a near fall for a sunset flip. And then the ever so popular Spanish Fly. You gotta love that. Into a springboard 450. Gives Shawn Legacy a near fall. Goes for Shambles, which is a complicated swinging neck breaker. How complicated can it be? That gets blocked. Eli Knight suplexes him into the corner. Ow! For the fall, the fans are like, oh, this is good. Impressive. Golf clap, basically. They trade fruit roll-ups for near falls. And so Eli Knight hits sliced bread number 2. Number 2 goes for a moonsault, and Sean Legacy got his boots up. Then he hits Shambles 1, 2, 3 in under 11 minutes. Sean Legacy moves on to the 6-way ladder match, joining Shiloh Hill and Ricky Starks. That's pretty damn good. I think Sean Legacy will do damage in that match, along with Shiloh, because he's a brawler, so he's going to throw ladders galore. So we see what happens with that. But match-wise, I thought it was pretty damn good. 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. After the match, Ricky's impressed. And gets in the ring, shows we have a code of honor, sportsmanship! Yay! Code of honor, you love to see that. And then Tony D takes both of them out. Sean Legacy gets chokeslammed on the announcer's table. Ow! It didn't break, by the way. I am the table! And then we see, like, 3 cops who look like the SWAT team. They come out and they arrest Tony D, who pretty much said, okay, I'll go down to the precinct. I'm going to get out in like 5 minutes. Because he's got people, So that was a waste. But yeah, that's that. Alright, then we get a video with Bucky Hogan 2.0, the Women's North American Champion Izzy Dane calls her title win the reason the cuckling was started. And then Nico and Sean Spears want the tag team titles. But first, they gotta beat OTM, Bronco Nemo and Lucius Price. We'll see what happens with that. So I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we're leaving the arena, going to the dreaded parking lot. Tony D gets put in the car, and Blake Howard tries to ask him, what happened? Why are you doing this? You think Tony D's gonna talk to you, your stupid ass? Go away, dude. You're boring. Get out of here. So, we see him leave in the black car, which we all know is not a cop car. They just had the sirens there just to make it look cool. So they leave to go to the precinct, the police station, and then Bronco Nemo and Lucius Price, OTM, pop up and say, we want Dark State next week. I don't know if that's for the titles, but we see what 2 members of Dark State show up. Could be Dion Madden and Saquon Sugars, or Cutler, or who's the other guy? Osiris Griffin. I mean, we'll see. But it's gonna be a hard-hitting match, and that's it. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, we go inside, where we had the Vanity Project, along with Jackson Drake and Swipe Right. They're happy to be in NXT. Jackson Drake gets told by Robbie E. that you, sir, have a qualifying match against this guy. And we say his name, and he appears. I believe of below average Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry appears and says, I think I'm going to win. Obviously you will. But you ain't going to win the title. Nobody wants to see you with the title. Fuck you. So he leaves, and then I think it was Smokes, who had a nice little lady with him, and Brett Baylor had a nice hottie with him too. So Smokes' girl just disappeared. She just fucking disappeared. And he's like, wait a minute, I was kissing her now. Wait a minute, did I just kiss Joe Hendry? No, I don't think no. No, she left to go be with a real man. That's what happened. Yeah, the other girl that was with Brett Baylor wasn't bad looking. I think she's from NXT. I don't know who these chicks are. Probably got them from the local strip club. I don't know where they came from. we move on. Alright, so I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Didn't care for Joe Hendry at all. Don't care. I ain't backing down for no average Joe. Alright, then we hear from Dark Stage, ready for everyone who wants to come for them. Okay. That's that. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to your main event of the evening. Triple threat match for a future TNA Knockouts title shot against the Elegance brand. We had George the Iceman, the personal concierge, in the audience. So we had the beautiful ladies of Fatal Influence. That's the women's speed champion, Fallon Dawn Henley and Lady Reed, along with the NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane. Sorry. Anyway, they take on Delruca, Delruca, and Delta, taking on Ren QCC, or my girl Maddie Lenkowski, and the Evolve Women's Champion, Kendall Gray. Pretty good match. It's also with Delruca, Lady Reed, and Kendall Gray. Starting off, trading fruit roll-ups for near falls. Delruca's back splash gets a near fall. Delta comes in and just rolls over everybody. And a double belly-to-back suplex drops Delta. That was impressive. And Fatal Influence then takes over on Maddie Lenkowski. Delruca comes in, tries an assisted top rope splash, but Delta's shoulder gave out. Ouch. So, Lady Reed dives onto Delta on the floor, only for Kendall Gray and Maddie Lenkowski to hit their own flippy-dippity-doos. It was wild. We were going buck wild on that bitch. What? Buck wild on that bitch. Like, Jay Briscoe, you, sir, reach for the sky, boy. We got that. Alright, so it was wild and crazy. We go to break, come back. Delta chokes Kendall Gray in the corner until Fallon Dawn Henley comes in, turns it into a middle rope doomsday device. You'll love to see that. You know, I love it from the top rope. We move on. Alright, then Delruca, Maddie Lenkowski, and Lady Reed. They come in, they slug it out. Maddie wins that and suplexes out of all that to take control. A Blue Thunder Bomb. You're not Sami Zayn, Lady Reed, so you only get 2. So Kendall Gray has to take out JC Jane on the floor. So Luca then dives in with a top rope splash for a near fall. Then everybody's down. Fans are kind of getting into it. Kendall Gray kicks Lady Reed down, walks right into a slingshot X Factor. Damn. From Delruca. That was impressive. I like that. Delta comes back in, cleans house, walks right into Shades of Grey for a near fall. No, not Touch of Grey by the the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia. We lost Bob Weir about a day or two ago. He was the other guitar player in the Grateful Dead, so sadly he passed away. So I might do a follow-up video probably tomorrow about that. I know it's late, but you know, whatever. I'm busy. Alright, so Kendall hits Shades of Grey for a near fall. JC Jane broke that up. And she can do that because it's a triple threat match. So no DQ. And that leads Lady to hit a crucifix, kind of like a running crucifix bomb on Delta. And then Fallon Henley comes back in with a blockbuster for a near fall. So Delruca comes back with a double soul stature to both ladies of Fatal Influence, and then Delta comes in, kind of has to clean up because she was the legal woman. Picks up Fallon Henley, kind of knocks Lady Reed out the ring, then hits the F5, 1, 2, 3, in under 12 and a half minutes. Delta and Delruca get the win, and they will face the Elegance brand on, the next episode of or maybe tomorrow night on AMC, because it would be live, so it might be tomorrow night. We'll see what happens with that. Match-wise was pretty damn good, 3.25 out of 5 stars, and it kept going. I thought something was going to happen, but nothing really happened after that. Just a lot of celebration and saying, bye, bye, you go bye-bye. That's it. Alright, so that ends NXT. I thought it was a pretty damn good show. And I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you motherfuckers thought of the show down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, we got AEW coming up at the top of the hour, so I'm going to take a little break and just chill for a little bit, watch AEW. I will be back a little bit later tonight with your Monday Night Raw review. I actually did the Raw review. I put it on this channel by accident, so I deleted it. I'm going to redo it, and it's going to be on the main channel, Killer Demon 669. And, so it'll be a redo of your Raw review. So, that rhymed, by the way. So, a redo Raw review coming up a little bit later tonight. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll talk about Unreal Season 2. Give you my review of the entire season. And then Thursday night, late Thursday night, we'll talk about Dynamite, and then Friday late Friday night, because I have plans Friday, so late Friday night, we'll talk about TNA on the second episode of TNA on AMC, and then Saturday, we got a lot to talk about. We got SmackDown. I'm going to do my SmackDown review, then I got to do Saturday's main event predictions on episode 102 of the Shadow's Lair, so we got that coming up. And by the way, Unreal will be episode 102 as well. So I'll simulcast it on this channel and my Shadow's Lair channel. So we get a 2-for-1 special there. I would put it just on my Shadow's Lair channel, but I don't know if I'm going to put it up there. But whatever. So the next episode of the Shadow's Lair most likely will be my Saturday Night's Main Event review predictions. We get that. And hopefully Sunday, we'll talk about Ring of Honor, we'll talk about Saturday's Main Event, and then we'll talk about Collision. So we got lots of things to do Sunday, but that might be up in the air because we're getting a blizzard here in my neck of the woods. I'm hoping I don't lose power, but I'm hoping to get whatever I can get up by the end of the day Sunday, and then we're kind of back to normal with Monday Night Raw back to a normal time slot of 8 p.m. So we got that. So SmackDown will be back at 8 p.m. on Friday. Raw will be back on Netflix at 8 p.m. on Monday night. And then next Friday's SmackDown will be from Saudi Arabia. That'll be at 1 p.m. if you have a VPN. Because it won't be on Netflix. If you have a VPN on Netflix, you can watch that. But if not, you have to wait till 8 o'clock here in the States. So spoilers for next Friday night. And then we got the Royal Rumble next Saturday. The stadium looks actually pretty damn good. They showed it last night, still being built. Looks pretty damn good. They got the lights all up. They got the pillars and everything for the ring being built. So they're getting there. They are getting there with about 10 days away. It's about 10 days away from the Rumble. And they're almost getting the ring set up, and they're going to get the Tron and all the electronics all set up. All the other stuff they got to do, but hopefully there won't be any, distractions or rain delays or whatever they got to do. And to get everything set up for next Saturday night, I think it'll come off pretty good, maybe. We'll see. And that's that. But until then, we wait. That's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Once again, 7.25 out of 10 stars for NXT. Pretty decent show. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, I will be back a little bit later on tonight. Pretty much a little after Dynamite goes off the air. Then we'll do your Monday Night Raw review on the Killer Demons channel. And if I have some time, I might do a Dynamite review. But we'll see. If not tonight, definitely will be tomorrow night. And that's that. And also your Unreal Season 2 review will definitely come tomorrow, early afternoon. Probably like around 1, maybe 2 o'clock. because I do have a half day of work tomorrow, and I have to do some errands tomorrow. And then, yeah, so late tomorrow night will be your Dynamite review, and then Friday, Friday night will be your TNA review, and Saturday we'll do SmackDown, predictions for Saturday's main event, and if I have some time, I'll try to get the Ring of Honor review up. And then Sunday we'll do Saturday's main event review and Collision. And then that'll hopefully be, pretty much be it for the weekend. If anything else comes your way, you'll know, and that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, if you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace, bitches.